where the Red Sox will host the New York Yankees. On the mound for the Red Sox is Hod Lisenby. Doing the catching, Johnny Heving. Phil Tott to be at first base. Bill Reagan at second. Otis Miller over at third. Bill Narleski playing short. In the outfield, you have Russ Scarlett, Tom Oliver, and Jack Rothrock. To lead off the game for the New York Yankees will be their center fielder, Earl Combs. Lisenby gets the sign. From the windup, here's the pitch. Lazy fly ball, shallow left field. Narleski back for it. He's under it, and he makes the play for the first out of the inning. Next up for the New York Yankees is their shortstop, Mark Cohen. Lisenby gets the sign. Here's the pitch, and the swing, and it's a fly ball to left field. Easy play for Scarlett. He's got it. 2 outs, top of the first inning. Batting next for the Yankees, their powerhouse left fielder, Babe Ruth. Lisenby on the mound. He's in the windup. Here's the pitch. Ruth popped it straight up. Heving's under it, and he puts it away for the third out of the inning. Lisenby sets him down in order. At the end of a half, Yankees 0, Red Sox 0. And the Yankees take the field. Pitching today for the Yankees will be Waite Hoyt. Bill Dickey doing the catching. Got Gehrig at first, Lazari at second. Chapman playing third with Conan at the short. Babe Ruth in left, Earl Combs in center, and Dusty Cook in right field. First up for the Red Sox will be Jack Rothrock. Waite Hoyt toes the mound. Looks for the sign. Here's the pitch. He got a hold of that one. Fly ball to deep right field. Cook back, and he makes the catch. That was a very noisy out by Jack Rothrock for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Red Sox is the third baseman, Otis Miller. Hoyt gets the sign. From the windup, here's the pitch. Hard ground ball to the shortstop. Koenig is up with it. Fires over to Gehrig for the second out of the inning. Next up for the Red Sox, their center fielder, Tom Oliver. Hoyt gets the sign. The windup and the pitch. And that's a lazy fly ball to left field. Ruth is under it, and he puts it away for the third out of the inning. At the end of one, Yankees none, Red Sox none. Off we go to the top of the second inning. Red Sox take the field. First up for the Yankees, to lead off the second, will be Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig leading off the second inning for the New York Yankees. Lisenby gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ground ball down the line. First baseman's got it. Top touches the bag. That's the first out of the second. Next up for the Yankees, their second baseman, Tony Lazari. Here's the pitch by Lisenby. Lazari swings, but he misses at strike 3. Lisenby gets his first strikeout of the game. Next up for the Yankees, the right fielder, Dusty Cook. Lisenby gets set. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball to short. Narleski up with it. Fires over to Tott. And that's the third out of the inning. Through 2, Lisenby is perfect. Sets him down in order once again. Bottom of the second inning. Yankees take the field once again. Leading off for the Red Sox, left fielder Russ Garrett. Hoyt's on the mound. He gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Line drive, center field. That's going to drop down for a hit. Scarrett round first. He's going to hold there as Combs gets the ball in quickly. Red Sox have a leadoff single in the bottom of the second. Next up for the Red Sox, second baseman Bill Reagan. Runner on first. Hoyt out of the stretch. Looks back, Scarrett. Here's the pitch. Reagan hits a fly ball to left field, not very deep. Roos under it, and he makes the catch. Scarrett goes back to first base. That's the first out of the inning. Next batter in the bottom of the second inning is the first baseman, Phil Tott. Hoyt from the stretch. Scarrett's got a small lead. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, center field, routine play for Earl Combs. He's under it, and he makes the catch. That's the second out of the inning. Runner still on first. Next up for the Red Sox, their shortstop, Bill Narleski. Hoyt from the stretch. He's ready to throw. Oh, and he dropped the ball. Hoyt dropped the ball on the mound. Umpires call a balk. Scarrett will be awarded second base. What a terrible mistake by Hoyt. Runner on second now for Narleski. Hoyt checks Scarrett back at second. From the stretch. Here's the pitch. Hard line drive to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Here comes Scarrett around third. Ruth up with it. The throw to the plate. The slide. Dickey puts down the tag, but he's safe. Safe at home plate. Narleski at second with a double. The Red Sox strike first. Take the lead 1-0. Next up for the Red Sox, the catcher, Johnny Heving. Runner at second base. Narleski takes the lead. Hoyt looks him back. Looks to the plate. Oh! The umpires call another balk. They award Narleski third base. That's the second balk of the inning by Waite Hoyt. Runner on third now. 2 outs for Johnny Heving. Here's the pitch by Hoyt. Ground ball to the first baseman, Lou Gehrig. He's up with it. He'll take it to first base unassisted for the third out of the inning. But not before the Red Sox score a run. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 2, it's the Red Sox 1, the Yankees 0. The Yankees coming to the plate. Leading off the top of the third inning is Ben Chapman, the third baseman. Listen B from the windup. There's the pitch. Line drive, left field, that's going to fall for a hit. Chapman rounds first, thinks about second, but Scarrett gets it in quickly. Narleski looks him back to first base. Leadoff single for Ben Chapman. Next up, Bill Dickey, catcher. Listen B looks back the runner. He's in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Hot ground ball straight back at the pitcher. Lisenby has it. Thinks about throwing to second. Thinks better of it. Tossed over to first to retire Dickey for the first out of the inning. Chapman advances to second base. Now the pitcher, Waite Hoyt, comes to the plate for the first time tonight. Runner on second base. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Fly ball center field. Oliver's under it, and he misses it. It's off his glove. Oliver botches that play. Chapman over to third. Hoyt will be safe at first with an error on the center fielder, Tom Oliver. That'll turn over the lineup and bring up the leadoff hitter, the center fielder, Earl Combs. Lisenby from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fly ball left field, fairly deep. Scarrett's back. He's under it. Runners tagging at third. Scarrett makes the catch. Chapman heads for home. There'll be no throw. Scarrett throws in Narleski. Yankees have tied it up. Runner holds at first. Next up for the Yankees with 2 outs. In the top of the third will be the shortstop, Mark Koenig. Koenig so far today is 0 for 1 with a fly out to left field. Lisenby looks back, Hoyt at first base. From the stretch, here's the pitch, and he swings, and that's a fly ball to center field. Oliver goes back, sizes it up, and he makes the catch for the third out of the inning. But not before the Yankees tie it up on 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and they leave 1 on base. At the end of 2.5, it's tied up. Yankees 1, Red Sox 1. Off to the bottom of the third inning. Hod Lisenby will lead it off for the Boston Red Sox. Waite Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. Lisenby taken all the way, and that's strike 3. Lisenby goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Back to the top of the lineup for the Red Sox. The center right fielder, Jack Rothrock. 0 for 1 today with a fly out to right in the first. Waite Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. Line drive to left field. Ruth going after it. Rothrock rounding first base. Ruth bobbles the ball. Rothrock takes off for second. Here's the throw by Ruth. Rothrock slides. He's safe at second base. Rothrock awarded a single. An error on the left fielder allowed the advancement to second base. Red Sox with a leadoff runner in the bottom of the third inning. Coming to the plate next for the Red Sox is their third baseman, Otis Miller. Otis Miller 0 for 1 today with a ground out to short. Waite Hoyt checks Rothrock at second base. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Hard line drive to right field. Rothrock rounding third base. Cook up with here's the throw to the plate. Rothrock is safe at home. RBI single for Otis Miller. Puts the Red Sox up 2 runs to 1. 1 out. Runner on first base. For the center fielder, Tom Oliver. Looking to make up for that error made in the last inning. Hoyt looks back to water. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Line drive, right field. That's going to get down for a hit. Miller stops at second base. Oliver holding up at first. That's a 1-out single for Tom Oliver. Coming up next with a runner in scoring position, the left fielder, Russ Scarrett. Hoyt looks back the runners. Runners on first and second. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Line drive to center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Rounding third is Miller. He's going to score. Rounding second is Oliver. Here's the throw from Combs. He slides and he is out. Oliver gets put out at third base by an excellent throw from Earl Combs for the second out of the inning. Scarrett holds up at first base. 2 outs. Coming to the plate now with 2 outs and a runner on first. The second baseman, Bill Reagan. Reagan 0 for 1 today with a fly out to left field. Hoyt from the stretch. Looks back the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Garrett's on the run, trying to steal second base. Dickey up with it. The throw to Lazzari. He puts down the tag. Out at second base. Skerritt gets put out. 2-4 for the final out of the inning. At the end of 3 innings, the Red Sox 3 and the Yankees 1. Red Sox ruined their rally in that inning by a couple of base running mistakes. A runner getting thrown out at third and a runner being caught stealing at second base. That'll bring up the Yankees in the top of the 4th inning. Leading off for the Yankees, the left fielder Babe Ruth. Lisenby gets the sign. From the windup, here's the pitch. Ground ball to first base. Tot goes down on it. Oh, he bobbles the ball. Ruth hustling. Tot, it's a race to first base, and Babe Ruth wins the race for a error. Reaches base on an error, second error of the game for the Red Sox. However, the Yankees have a leadoff base runner. Next up for the Yankees, their first baseman, Lou Gehrig. Lisenby looks back Ruth at first base. He's from the stretch. Here's the pitch, straight back to Lisenby. He throws the second. Narleski over to first, double play. Double play turned Lisenby to Narleski to Tot. 2 outs. Base is now clear for the second baseman, Tony Lazzari. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. He swings. It's a lazy fly ball to right field. Rothrock is under it, and he'll put it away for the 3rd out of the inning. Yankees end up with no runs on no hits with 1 error. And at the end of 3 1/2, it's the Yankees 1, the Red Sox 3. The Yankees take the field in the bottom of the 4th inning. Reagan back up as he was at the plate when the runner got thrown out at second last inning. Hoyt toys the mound. Him the windup. Here's the pitch and a swing and a deep fly ball to right field. But not deep enough. Dusty Cook is under it, and he makes the catch for the 1st out of the inning. Next up, first baseman Phil Tot. 0 for 1 today with a fly out to center in the 2nd inning. Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. Deep fly ball to right field. Cook's going back for it, but it's over his head. To the wall. Tot rounds first. He's heading for second. He's going to be in with a stand-up double. Puts a runner on second base for the Boston Red Sox. Their 7th hit of the day. Next up, the shortstop, Bill Narleski. Hoyt from the windup. Checks back the runner. Here's the pitch. A swing by Narleski. Fly ball left field. Ruth is under it, and he puts it away for the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Johnny Heving. Runner on second. Hoyt from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball to third. Chapman up with it, fires over to Gehrig, and that'll do it, the 3rd out of the inning. The Red Sox scored no runs on 1 hit and leave 1 runner on. At the end of 4, the Sox 3, the Yanks 1. To the top of the 5th inning we go. Lisenby still on the mound for the Red Sox. Dusty Cook, the Yankees right fielder at the plate. Cook 0 for 1 today with a ground out to short. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4. Dusty Cook awarded first base on balls. Leadoff runner for the Yankees. Next up, the 3rd baseman, Ben Chapman. Lisenby from the stretch. Runner's got a short lead at first. Here's the pitch. Pop straight up. Easy play for Heving. He's under it, and he puts that away for the 1st out of the inning. Next up, the catcher, Bill Dickey. Dickey 0 for 1 today with a ground out to the pitcher. Lisenby's ready. Here's the pitch. Ground ball straight back at Lisenby. He's up with it. Fires over to first base for the second out of the inning. Cook heads over to second base. That's going to put a runner in scoring position. I'll bring up the pitcher, Waite Hoyt. Hoyt reached on an error back in the third inning. Lisenby from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, second base. Reagan up with it. Routine play over the top for the third out of the inning. The Yankees get no runs, no hits, but a walk. Put a runner on at the end of 4.5. It's the Red Sox 3, the Yankees 1. The Yankees take the field for the bottom of the fifth inning. First up, the pitcher Hod Lisenby. 0 for 1, struck out looking in the third. Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lisenby goes out on strikes for the second time this game. Next up, the right fielder, Jack Rathrock. Rathrock so far 1 for 2 today, scoring a run in the third. Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Second base. Zari up with it over to Gehrig for the second out of the inning. Next up, the third baseman, Otis Miller. From the windup, here's the pitch from Hoyt. Pop up. Second base, Lazari's under it, and he puts it away. Red Sox go down in order. At the end of 5 complete, it's the Yankees 1, the Red Sox 3. To the top of the 6th we go. Leading it off for the Yankees, the leadoff hitter, center fielder Earl Coombs. Coombs is 0 for 2 today. 0 for 1 today. He had a fly out in the first and a sacrifice fly to left field in the third to score a run. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Norleski up with it over the top for the first out of the inning. Next up, shortstop Mark Conan. Here's the pitch from Lisenby. Fly ball, right field. Easy play for Rothrock. He's under it, and he makes the play for the second out of the inning. Next up, the left fielder, Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth today is 0 for 2. He popped out to the catcher and reached on an error by the first baseman. Lisenby from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Hard shot to right field. Rothrock's up with it on a bounce. Ruth is going to be safe at first with his first hit of the game. Next up for the Yankees, their first baseman, Lou Gehrig. Lisenby looks back Ruth at first base. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Gehrig swings and he gets a hold of that one. That's a deep fly ball to center field. Oliver going back. He's at the warning track. He's at the wall. All he can do is watch this one leave. Lou Gehrig with a 2-run home run ties the game in the top of the 6th at 3 apiece. Bases clear now for the second baseman, Tony Lazzari. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch and the swing. And it's a ground ball to third base. Miller up with it over the top for the final out of the inning. But not before the Yankees tie it up on 2 runs and 2 hits. They leave nobody on base. At the end of 5.5, it's the Yankees 3 and the Red Sox 3. Bottom of the 6th inning now. Leading it off for the Red Sox will be the center fielder, Tom Oliver. Hoyt looks in for the sign. He has it. In the windup, here's the pitch. Deep fly ball to center field. It's going to be over the head of Coombs. One bounce to the wall. Oliver rounding first. He's heading for second. He's going to be into second easily with a stand-up double. Leadoff double by Tom Oliver. Next to the plate, is the left fielder Russ Scarrett. Scarrett 2 for 2 today with a couple of singles, although he did get caught stealing in the third inning. Runner in scoring position. Oliver at second base, taking his lead. Hoyt checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the pitcher. Fires over to third base. Chapman puts down the tag, and Oliver is out at third. Russ Scarrett reaches first base, and a fielder's choice. There's one out in the inning. Coming to the plate now, the second baseman, Bill Reagan. Reagan 0 for 2 today with a couple flyouts. Hoyt looks back the runner. From the stretch, he has his sign. Here's the pitch. Deep fly ball to right center field. Cook after it. Coombs after it, but it's going to fall in between them. Runner around in second. He's going to be safe on third, and Reagan is into second base with a stand-up double. Red Sox are threatening. Runners on second and third. One out. Coming to the plate, the first baseman, Phil Tott. Tott 1 for 2 today with a double in the fourth inning. From the stretch, Hoyt gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And it's a ground ball to second base. Lazari up with it. Fires home. Runner slides. He is out at home. That's a 4-2 put out for the Yankees to prevent the run scoring. The Red Sox have had an excellent opportunity this inning. No runs have scored yet. Runners on first and third. 2 outs. For the shortstop, Bill Narleski. Hoyt from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Narleski gets a hold of one to left field, but Ruth has plenty of time. He's under it, and he makes the catch for the third out of the inning. So Red Sox threaten. They scored no runs on 2 hits. They left 2 on base. Score still tied at the end of 6th, 3-3. Red Sox take the field for the top of the 7th inning. Due up, Dusty Cook, Ben Chapman, and Bill Dickey. Dusty Cook steps to the plate, the right fielder for the New York Yankees. Lisenby gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch, and it's a lazy fly ball to left field. Scarrett's underneath it, and he has it easily. That's the first out of the 7th inning. Next up, third baseman Ben Chapman. Chapman today is 1 for 2, scoring a run in the third inning. Lisenby looks for the side. Here's the pitch, just a bit low. Ben Chapman takes first base. Next up, the catcher, Bill Dickey. 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts to the pitcher. Lisenby looks back the runner. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, left field. Scarrett's under it. Plenty of time. He makes the catch for the second out. Runner holds at first. Next up, the pitcher, Waite Hoyt. So far today, 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the third and ground out to second base in the 5th. Lisenby checks the runner. He gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Straight back at him. Lisenby's up with it. Throws over to first for the third out of the inning. Yankees leave a runner. They scored no runs on no hits. And the score at the end of 6 1/2. Still knotted up. 3 runs apiece. Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Red Sox will be the catcher, Johnny Heving. Heving so far 0 for 2 today. Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. And that's a fly ball to center field. Combs under it. Plenty of time. And he puts it away for the first out of the inning. Lisenby comes to the plate with 1 out, nobody on. Lisenby so far today has struck out twice, looking for a little better result this time. Wait, Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. Little dribbler, back to the pitcher. Hoyt gets it, throws over to Gehrig for the second out of the inning. A little better than a strikeout, but not much. Next up, right fielder Jack Rothrock. 2 outs, nobody on. Hoyt again from the windup. Here's the pitch. Line drive, right field. That's going to get down for a hit. Cook's up with it. Rothrock's rounding first base. He's going to hold there. 2 out single by Jack Rothrock. 2 outs. Runner on first for the third baseman Otis Miller. Wait, Hoyt from the stretch. And the pitch, and Rothrock is running. It's a pitch out. Catcher's up with it. Throws to the second baseman, Lazari. Here's the tag, and he's out at second. That's going to end the inning. At the end of 7, we are still knotted up. 3 runs apiece. To the top of the 8th we go. The Red Sox have a defensive replacement. Bill Barrett's going to take over the duties and batting first in right field for Jack Rothrock. First to the plate for the Yankees will be Earl Combs, the leadoff hitter, playing center field. 0 for 2 today with a sacrifice fly in the third. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch, popped up. Third baseman Miller's under it, and he puts it away for the first out. Next up for the Yankees is the shortstop Mark Koenig. Lisenby gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Again, another easy play for Miller. He makes the catch. That's the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down. Next up is the left fielder, the heavy-hitting Babe Ruth. Ruth so far today is 1 for 3. Reached on an error in the 4th. A single in the 6th, and he scored a run. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lisenby puts them down in order in the 8th. After 7.5, we're still not up at 3 runs apiece. The Yankees take the field for the bottom of the 8th inning. Leading off will be the third baseman Otis Miller. Left at the plate last inning. And the runner got thrown out at second base attempting a steal. Wait, Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. Line drive, diving play. Koenig, he's up with it. That's the first out of the inning on a spectacular play by Koenig. Next up for the Red Sox, the center fielder, Tom Oliver. Hoyt from the windup. He gets the sign. Here's the pitch, and that's a line drive to center field. Dropping for a hit. Combs up with it quickly. Oliver will be held to a single. 1 out single by Tom Oliver. That's the 11th hit of the day for the Red Sox compared to only 3 for the Yankees. Next batter will be the left fielder Russ Scarrett. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's the pitch by Hoyt. Popped up. Easy play at second base for Lazari. He makes the play, and that's the second out of the inning. Next up, the second baseman, Bill Reagan. Reagan today is 1 for 3 with a double in the 6th. Wait, Hoyt gets the sign. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Line drive, left field. That's going to drop in front of Ruth for a base hit. Runner stops at second base. Reagan stops at first base. That's going to put runners on first and second. For Phil Tott. That's the 12th hit of the day for the Red Sox. Tott today playing first base. 1 for 3. Had himself a double in the 4th inning. Looking to put the Red Sox up so they can close it out in the 9th. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Hoyt. A lazy ground ball over to Gehrig at first. He'll take it to the base himself for the final out of the inning. Red Sox threaten but do not score. No runs on 2 hits and no errors. At the end of 8, still tied up, 3 apiece. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. Todd Lisenby still on the mound. First to face him is Lou Gehrig. Gehrig today is 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer in the 6th. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. Gehrig got under that one. Pop fly to the first baseman. Phil Tots under it, and he puts it away for the first out of the inning. Next up for the visiting Yankees, the second baseman, Tony Lazzari. Lisenby gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Lazzari takes it, and it's called strike 3. Lisenby gets Lazzari looking for the second out of the inning. 2 out, bases empty for the right fielder, Dusty Cook. Dusty Cook 0 for 2 today with a walk in the 5th inning. Lisenby gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And the swing, and Cook hits a lazy fly ball to center field. Oliver under it, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Yankees scored no runs on no hits, leave nobody on. At the end of 8.5, it's the Yankees 3, Red Sox 3. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Red Sox looking to put this game away here. Hoyt still on the mound for the Yankees. Narleski up at the plate for the Red Sox. Narleski so far today is 1 for 3. Had an RBI double in the 2nd. Hoyt from the windup. Here's the pitch. Line drive, left field. That's going to drop down for a hit. Ruth up with it quickly. Holds Narleski to a single. Leadoff single, Bill Narleski. Next up for the Red Sox, the catcher, Johnny Heving. Runner on first. Hoyt looks back, Narleski from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Line drive, single to center field. Narleski will have to stop at second as Coombs comes up with it quickly. Heving with a single. Puts runners on first and second. No outs. That was the 14th hit of the game for the Red Sox. Looks like the Red Sox going to leave their pitcher in to hit. Lisenby up at the plate. Hoyt looks back to runners. Here's the pitch. Lisenby squares around to bunt. He bunts it straight to the first baseman. First baseman throws it over to third. Chapman has it. They got the force out at third. Unsuccessful sacrifice bunt by Lisenby. That'll bring Bill Barrett to the plate for the first time today with a chance to win the game for the Red Sox. Runners on first and second. 1 out. Hoyt gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Fly ball. Shallow right field. In foul territory. Gehrig's under it. And he puts that away for the second out of the inning. 2 outs now. Runner still on first and second. Otis Miller can put this game away with a base hit. Hoyt gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, left field. Routine play for Ruth. He's under it, and he puts it away for the final out of the inning. So the Red Sox threaten, but scored no runs on 2 hits. That puts this game into extra innings. To the top of the 10th inning we go. Leading it off for the Yankees will be the third baseman, Ben Chapman. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, right field. Barrett's under it, and he puts it away for the first out of the inning. Next to the plate is the catcher, Bill Dickey. Lisenby from the windup. Here's a pitch, line drive, center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Oliver up with it, throws it into Reagan. He's going to hold Dickey to a 1-out single. Looks like the Yankees are going to pinch hit for Wade Hyatt. Pinch hitter is going to be Samuel Bird. Also, pinch running at first base will be Cedric Durst. Pinch running for Bill Dickey. Lisenby looks him back. Samuel Bird digs in. Here's the pitch. Bird, round ball to third base. Miller up with it. Over to the second base for the out. Reagan fires over to first, but he's safe at first. Fielder's choice for Samuel Bird. 2 down, runner at first. Coming to the plate is Earl Combs, center fielder. Lisenby from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, center field. Oliver's under it, and that'll be the final out of the inning. After 9.5 innings, still knotted up at 3 apiece. Yankees take the field for the bottom of the 10th inning. Hank Johnson at pitcher. Bubbles Hargrave take over the role at catcher. First up will be Otis Miller, the center fielder for the Red Sox. Johnson in the windup. Here's the pitch. He swings and misses, but it looks like he hit the catcher's glove. That's interference on the catcher. Otis Miller is awarded first base. Runner on first, no outs for Russ Scarrett. Johnson looks back the runner. He has the sign. Here's the pitch. Lazy fly ball to right field. Dusty Cook is under it, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Oliver holds at first. Next up for the Red Sox is their second baseman, Bill Reagan. Oliver still on first. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Johnson walks Reagan to put runners on first and second with just 1 out. Red Sox threatening once again. Runner in scoring position in Tom Oliver. Stepping to the plate is their first baseman, Phil Tutt. Hank Johnson looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. Tapper back to the pitcher. Johnson up with it. Only play is first base. Throws on to Gehrig for the second out of the inning. Runners advance. Red Sox with a prime opportunity to win this game. Shortstop Bill Narleski coming up to the plate. Johnson on the mound. He gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Slow roller in front of the plate. Hargraves up with it. Fires over to Gehrig for the final out of the inning. Red Sox fail to score. No runs, no hits, 1 error. After 10, still knotted up at 3 apiece. Top of the 11th inning. Lisenby still on the mound. He'll face the 2-3-4 hitters for the Yankees. Leading off, Mark Koenig. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Narleski up with it. Over the top for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Yankees, the left fielder, Babe Ruth. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. High and outside, ball 4. Babe Ruth draws a walk. Trots down to first base. 1 out, runner on first. For Lou Gehrig. Lisenby looks Ruth back at first base. From the stretch. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, second base. Reagan up with it. Flips to Narleski for 1. Over to first, not in time. Red Sox get the lead runner. 2 outs now. Runner on first in the name of Lou Gehrig. Next up for the Yankees, their second baseman, Tony Lazzari. Lisenby checks the runner. He gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Miller at third. Miller up with it, fires over the top for the final out of the inning. The Yankees come up empty. No runs, no hits. 1 left on base at the end of 10.5. Yankees 3, Red Sox 3. Hank Johnson back on the mound for the Yankees for the Red Sox 11th inning. He'll face the 8, 9, and 1 batters. First up, catcher Johnny Heaven. Johnson from the windup. Here's the pitch. Here's the swing, line drive, center field. That's going to drop in for a single. Heaving rounds first base, but Combs gets it in quickly. Leadoff single for Johnny Heaven. Next up for the Red Sox with a runner on first base is the pitcher, Hod Lisenby. Johnson checks the runner. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Lisenby squares around a bunt. He gets it down. Johnson's up with it. Throws over to first base for the out. Sacrifice bunt for Lisenby. Puts a runner in scoring position with one out. Bill Barrett coming up to the plate for the second time today. Johnson checks Heaven at second. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Slow roller in front of the plate. Hargrave up with it. Fires over to Gehrig for the second out of the inning. Heaving over to third base. Next up for the Red Sox, their third baseman, Otis Miller. Winning run on third base. Johnson gets the sign. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Bouncer back to Johnson. Easy play. Toss over to Gehrig for the final out of the inning. Red Sox come up empty. No runs on one hit, leaving one runner on. At the end of 11, still tied up. Yankees 3, Red Sox 3. Lisenby back on the mound for the 12th inning. He'll face Dusty Cook, Ben Chapman, and Bubbles Hargrave. Dusty Cook at the plate, the Yankees right fielder. Lisenby gets the sign. From the windup, here's the pitch. He swings. Chopper to second base. Reagan fields it cleanly, throws over to top for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Yankees is their third baseman, Ben Chapman. Lisenby looks in for the sign. He's got it. Here's the pitch and a swing and a fly ball to center field. Easy play for Oliver, and he puts it away for the second out. Next up for the Yankees, the catcher. His first at-bat of the game after taking over the catching duties from Bill Dickey. Lisenby from the windup. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle into center field. Oliver up with it. He'll fire it in quickly to hold Hargrave to a single. 2-out single by Bubbles Hargrave. Runner on first. 2 outs for the pitcher, Hank Johnson. Lisenby looks back the runner. Gets the sign. From the stretch, pop fly, second base. Easy play for Reagan, and he puts it away for the final out of the inning. After 11 and a half, still tied up, 3 runs apiece. Hank Johnson back on the mound for the bottom of the 12th inning. First up for the Red Sox, Tom Oliver, the center fielder. Johnson from the windup. Here's the pitch. Bouncer straight back to Johnson. He picks it up, throws over to Gehrig for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Red Sox, their left fielder, Russ Scarrett. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Scarrett takes it. Umpire calls strike 3. Russ Scarrett goes down on strikes looking for the second out of the inning. Next up for the Red Sox, the second baseman, Bill Reagan. Johnson toes the mound. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Fly ball right field. Easy play for Dusty Cook. And he puts it away for the final out of the inning. Johnson puts the Sox down in order in the bottom of the 12th inning. No runs, no hits, no base runners. At the end of the 12th, still Yankees 3, Red Sox 3. On we go to the top of the 13th. Ed Morris is going to take over the pitching duties from Hod Lisenby. Lisenby for the day pitched 12 full innings. Gave up 3 runs on 5 hits. Earl Combs will be the first batter for the Yankees. Combs playing center field today. Morris from the windup. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, second base. Reagan up with it, over to first for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Yankees in the top of the 13th inning. Shortstop, Mark Koenig. Morris gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, first base. Top up with it. Morris running to the bag. He covers. Top flips to Morris for the second out of the inning. Next up for the Yankees, the left fielder, the big Bambino, Babe Ruth. Morris looks in for the sign. From the windup, here's the pitch. Ruth swings, hits it straight back to Morris. Easy play for Morris, over the top for the final out of the inning. The Yankees scored no runs on no hits, and after 12 and a half, we're knotted up at 3. Bottom of the 13th inning. Coming up for the Sox, the first baseman to fill Tot. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Tot swings, and it's a deep fly ball, but Earl Combs has plenty of room. He camps under it and puts it away for the first out of the inning. Next up, the shortstop, Bill Narleski. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Narleski goes down on strikes. Next up, the catcher, Johnny Heving. Johnson from the windup. Here's the pitch. Long fly ball to left center field. Roos after it. Combs is after it. Neither can get to it. It's going to drop in for a hit. To the wall. Heving rounding first. He's heading for second. Here's a throw in by Ruth. Not in time. Johnny Heving with a 2-out double. Pitcher Ed Morris coming up next for the first time in this game. Has taken over the pitching duties. 2 out, runner on first base. Johnson looks back the runner. Here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Strike 3 to retire the side. Red Sox get a hit, but no runs. At the end of 13, still knotted up at 3 apiece. Ed Morris takes the mound for the top of the 14th inning. Yankees will have their 4, 5, and 6 batters up. Leading it off is the first baseman, Lou Gehrig. Ed Morris gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Gehrig swings. It's a bouncing ball to short. Narleski up with it. Fires over to first for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Yankees, their second baseman, Tony Lazzari. Morris gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Lazzari gets a free base. Morris issues a walk to Tony Lazzari. Puts a runner on first base with 1 out. Next up is the right fielder, Dusty Cook. Morris looks in for the sign. He checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Little dribbler in front of the plate. Heving up with it, throws over to first base for the second out of the inning. Runner advances to second base. 2 out, Lazzari on second base. Ben Chapman up at the plate to try to break the tie. Morris looks in, gets the sign, checks the runner. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Morris strikes out Chapman to end the inning. Yankees get no runs on no hits, and after 13 and a half, we're still tied 3 apiece. To the bottom of the 14th we go. Hank Johnson still on the mound. Red Sox bring their 1, 2, 3 hitters to the plate. Leading it off is right fielder Bill Barrett. Johnson gets the sign. From the windup, Barrett pops it up. Shortstop Koenig under it, and he makes the out. 1 down in the bottom of the 14th. Next up, third baseman Otis Miller. Johnson from the windup. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball to short. Koenig up with it. Fires over to Gehrig for the second out of the inning. 2 out, nobody on. Batting next for the Red Sox, center fielder Tom Oliver. Johnson again from the windup. He gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, short left field. Chapman under it. He puts it away for the final out. Red Sox go down in order. After 14, still Yankees 3, Red Sox 3. Ed Morris back on the bump for the 15th inning. He'll face the Yankees 8, 9, and 1 batters. First up, catcher Bubbles Hargrave. Morris from the windup. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second base. Reagan up with it. Fires over the top for the first out. Coming to the plate now, the pitcher, Hank Johnson. Morris gets a sign. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Johnson goes down on strikes. It's 2 outs in the top of the 15th inning. Batting next, the Yankees leadoff hitter and center fielder Earl Combs. Morris from the windup once again. Here's the pitch. Combs swings. That's a line drive to center field. That's going to drop for a hit. Combs rounds first, but Oliver gets it in quickly to hold him for a single. 2 out single by Earl Combs. 2 outs. Combs on first base. Mark Koenig, the shortstop, comes up to the plate. Morris looks at the runner from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Combs breaks for second. Heavey's got it. Throw down to Orleski. The tag is not in time. Earl Combs steals second base. That puts a runner in scoring position for Koenig. Morris checks the runner. Obviously a threat to steal. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 4. Koenig goes to first base. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. For Babe Ruth. Morris looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Morris retires the side on a strikeout of Babe Ruth. Yankees leave 2 on. Had 1 hit but failed to score. After 14 and a half innings, it's the Yankees 3, the Red Sox 3. And on we go to the bottom of the 15th inning. Hank Johnson still on the mound. Leading off for the Red Sox will be the off left fielder, Russ Skerritt. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the windup. Skerritt swings. It's a bounding ball to Johnson. He has it. Throw over to first, but the throw is wild. It gets past Gehrig. Backing up is Dusty Cook, but Russ Skerritt reaches on the error. Runner on first, no outs. That's the 3rd error made today by the Yankees. Runner on first, no outs. Next up is Bill Reagan, a second baseman. Johnson looks back the runner. Here's the pitch. Bounding ball up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Skerritt holds at second. Reagan at first. Runners on first and second. No outs for the Red Sox. Next up is Phil Tott. Red Sox threatening here to win the game. Johnson from the stretch. He looks back the runners. He gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Tott squares around the bunt. He lays one down. Johnson up with it. Fires over to Chapman at third, and they get the lead runner. Sacrifice bunt is unsuccessful. Johnson to Chapman for the first out of the inning. Bill Narleski up next with a chance to put this game away. Johnson toes the rubber. Checks the runners. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch. There's a swing. Fly ball to center field. Earl Combs has plenty of room. He's under it. And he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. 2 away for the Red Sox in the 15th. Next up for the Red Sox, the catcher, Johnny Henning. Hank Johnson looks the runner's back. Gets the sign. From the stretch. Here's the pitch. Line drive up the middle. That's going to drop for a base hit. Reagan around third trying to score. Combs is up with it. Here's the throw to home. Reagan slides. He's safe. The Red Sox win the game. It took 15 innings, but the Red Sox emerged victorious. Red Sox 4, Yankees 3. What a game we had today, folks, at Fenway Park. Final lines. Yankees with 3 runs on 6 hits and committed 3 errors. Red Sox with 4 runs on 18 hits, committed 2 errors. Player of the game has to be Johnny Heving. Heving went 4 for 7 with a game-winning RBI. What a fantastic game, and he did very well behind the plate. Winning pitcher today is Ed Morris. 3 innings pitched, gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, did walk 2. Losing pitcher would be Hank Johnson. 5.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, struck out 3. The pitcher of the game, though, has to be Hod Lisenby. Pitched 12 strong innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned, did walk 3, struck out 3. What a fantastic game here from Fenway Park. Thank you for joining us here on Times Past Baseball.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America is ruled by like an army of steel.